Well, so preemptive bids can work for us or against us, can't they? It can be lots of good things can happen, or you may find some problems on the road up ahead, and you may have to make some leaps of faith sometime. But if they're done well, I guess we can use them to our profit. Now, a preemptive bid is one that allows us to take a preemptive action, something before the opponents do. And that can certainly be like a boomerang. It can hit our target, or if not done effectively, it can come back and whack us. So one thing we want to think about is what's the risk-reward relationship, as we've spoken about in some of our previous lessons. So in today's lesson, we're going to take a look at discipline. Yes, it is important to use things that have more of a proactive effect than they do for a reactive effect. Now, here's one of my buddies come along across the road. Say hi to the fans there, Chris.
Hello there, man.
How are you doing?
Fine, how are you?
Hey, great. And you taking any preemptive effects today?
What's that?
Are you doing any preemptive effects today?
No, but I'm smoking a turkey and lamb for Easter.
Oh, good. Well, have a happy Easter, Chris. Good to see you.
Have a nice Easter.
Okay. So that was my buddy Chris there, and a fellow Rotarian, and so yeah, he's a really nice guy, and I know that I can count on him when it comes to needing some support, supporting some help. And that's a two-way street. It doesn't mean just giving, it means getting also. So one of the things we want to do is we want to be reliable, and we have our disciplined effort. So I'd like to say is that when we get to the game, and we'll be doing some virtual games here today, is to be aware of what kind of a partner do you want. Do you want to be one that's trustworthy? Do you want to be more trustworthy to your partner or to the opponents? I think you know the answer to that.
On March 27, 2016, this is social lesson number 19, day 4, part 1. Greeting bridge friends, and welcome to our real world, where we're going to start talking about preempts for fun and hopefully for profit. So to do so, we want to be sure that we use some of the basic rules. We'll talk about the rule of 2, 3, and 4. Well, actually, it's a guide. I wouldn't go 100% by it, but it does show some of the best ways to leverage the vulnerability when you or your opponents are or are not vulnerable, and how we can use that to best make bids where we minimize our risk and maximize our chance for reward. As the seat that we're sitting in, whether we're a first, second, third, or fourth seat, we're going to talk about what happens when we make preempts and how that affects our risk and reward. So, as we talked about when we were outside, is we want to be disciplined. We want to be sure when we make these bids is that we're not making them where our partner doesn't know if we have 2 points or 12 or 13 points. That is not being a very good partner. And we want to be good partners, right? Well, okay, let's go ahead and head for the table and see what we've got. First of all, recall that our first week we talked about going beyond the high card points, 4, 3, 2, 1, ace, king, queen, jack, jack not so much, and we started taking a look at when we have a partnership fit using our losing trick count. That is not counting anything beyond the first 3 cards in a suit, and in the trump suit, if we have ace, king, or queen, those are not losers. In the side suit, ace, king are not losers. Nothing beyond the first 3 cards is a loser again. If we have queen third, that's a loser. But otherwise, if we have aces, kings, and if we have short suits, fine. Or if we have a semi-self-sustaining suit that is with a suit quality of 9 or more, and that is by taking a look at the honors plus the length. And if that adds up to 9 or more, let's say ace, queen, jack 6 times, well, good for you. You've got a suit that you don't have to even have a partnership fit, because you now enter a situation where you can go ahead and start saying, this suit looks like it's a good chance for trump, and we can rebid it with a 6 or longer suit. Don't rebid 5 cards, please, and use those to get a good chance to see where we can go ahead and capitalize on some tricks, going beyond our just simple high card points. Okay, in the second week, then we spoke about looking and listening at the auction. That is, situational awareness and self-awareness, going beyond looking at our 13 pasteboards, just our cards, and looking at some of the other things around the table, being aware of what the opponents are going on, as well as our partners bidding for the opponents, hesitations, gestures, mannerisms, and the like, and what they bid, what they didn't bid. So we want to be listening and looking around the table. And then last week we took a look at leads, the inferences from the leads. What constitutes a good lead? The algorithms, that is when we're leading from a sequence suit or a broken sequence, when we're making a Boston lead, bottom of something, top of the nothing. We took a look at doing counting based upon what the lead is. If it is the fourth best, using the rule of 11, the inferences, and so on the CIA. Okay, and this week we're talking about preempts for fun and profit. Next week we're going to be talking about doubles and Q bids. Probably going at least to take out doubles, hopefully some negative doubles, maybe a little bit more, but mostly focusing on those, as well as maybe some Q bids and overcalls. And then the street smart bridge player to wrap it up. Well, okay, so you can go to www.bridgehands.com. If you want, you can go to look at videos or just /videos with the rest of that URL and start watching both the Polling You series, the social series, including these series for Social 19, as well as the advanced series if that's your proclivity. All right. We'll be taking a look at the slides as we are here, and then we'll be going into the bidding and play at the table and reinforce our lessons with the critique. Okay, so in the beginning there were 7-card preempts. That's all there were 100 years ago. There were no preempts at the 2 level, so you had to have a 7-card suit. If you preempted at 3 level, everybody knew that was a preempt. Hey, 22 to 24 points, we open it 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, or 2 spades. Well, not these days. About 50 years ago, Charles Gorin said, yeah, I think that there is a better way to do this. Why don't we just use 2 clubs as a ubiquitous catch-all bid? Anything other than 2 clubs will be a preempt. So 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, 2 spades are all now preemptive bids for the last 50 years or so. So, okay, that means is that we have a lot more chance to bid. We have the 3 level and the 2 level, 2 diamonds, hearts, and spades for preemptive bid. The idea is to get a chance to make our first bid before they do. Take some oxygen out of the room for the opponents, make it where it disrupts their communications, as they do for us when they've got a 6-card suit and a little else, and they make a 2-heart bid. Yeah, it's hard for us to come in at 3 diamonds if that happens to be where we've got 13, 14 points and a 5 or 6-card suit ourselves. Okay, so sometimes both we and our partner, if they have a suit fit with us, they are interested in doing a sacrifice, as we'll get into talking about vulnerability in a little bit. And it's also where if they do penalize us, it just doesn't hurt us. If they miss a game, hey, fine. If we go down a couple of tricks, we're not vulnerable. We'll get into that. Knowing the ecosystem, obviously, the relative seat that you're in, and we'll get into that in a moment, as well as the vulnerability, are very important things. And what type of bidders are your opponents? Are they likely to double you? And how high if they do make a penalty double on you? Now, don't ever mix your preempts. That is, if your opponents make a week 2 bid with the 6-card suit, and we've got a 6-card suit with, let's say, ace, queen, 6 times in spades and little else, do not bid 2 spades over their 2-heart preempt. We don't mix preempts with the opponents. We have to have strength and length to make a bid. 5-card suit, 14 points, sure, go ahead and make your overcall over their 2 hearts, 2 spades, but not with a preempt hand. So if you got a hand that you would preempt, they preempted, let your partner do the talking. Well, okay, bridge thrill seekers, let's go ahead and take a look at a hand here before we get too far into this. Now in part 2 and part 3, we've got a lot more chalk talk, some more slides. We'll go ahead and get some of the highlights on when we preempt, when we don't, and some of the specifics so you can be a better preempter. But first, let's just take a look at some hands and take a look at some things like the suit quality. Remember we spoke about that in a prior lesson. High card points, we should know that by now. 4, 3, 2, 1, ace, king, queen, jack. And we might even, as a play of the hand, take a little bit of the CIA, the counts, inferences, and the algorithms. Okay, fine. So first of all, the north hand, it is a 6-3-2-2 shape. Let's write that down. 6-3-2-2. Okay, the high card points. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. And the suit quality, remember that's, take a look at the honors plus the length. We have 3 honors and 6 long in our longest suit. That's a suit quality of 9. And what else can we say about the hand? Well, what's the suit that we have length in? It's the spade suits. It's the master suit. So I like the fact that we have a spade suit that we're talking about. But if we do have a semi-self-sustaining suit or a partnership fit in the majors, we can now start taking a look at our losing trick count. And with a suit quality of 9, I think it's reasonable to take a look at what our losers might be, that losing trick count. So ace king in a suit, even the side suits, no losers. Ace king queen in our trump suit, no losers. Side suits where it's just a queen, though, sorry, that's a loser unless you've got a jack or something with it. Okay, so we have 2 losers in diamonds, 2 losers in clubs, 2 losers in hearts. That's 6, and 1 loser in spades. So that's a LTC of 7. And that's like about a typical opening hand, 12 to 14 hands that are more flat. This is a little bit more shapely with the 6-3-2-2, but let's take a look at the east hand. It is a 6-4-2-1. Aha, a little more shapely, isn't it? 6-4-2-1. There, we've got it. And for our high card points, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's the same hand, isn't it, basically? The suit quality here again, 6 and 3 is 9. And the suit this time is the heart suit. And the losing trick count, yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, how about our south hand? It is a 6-3-3-1. And for our high card points, just 9. First of all, what's our suit quality? Yeah, we definitely have a 6 and 3, and I'm going to give it a 9 plus because it's the ace, king, queen. So unless it's jack fourth against us, happens about 10% of the time, we're in good shape. If you're peeking, yeah, it is a 4-1 against us over there, but that's not a likely scenario. Okay, and our losing trick count, because we do have a suit quality of 9, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I don't think anything here. So it is a suit quality of 9. Okay, how about over here? Now for the west hand, it is a 6-4-2-1. 6-4-2-1. And for the high card points, we have 10 and 1 is 11. And I don't like jacks as counting for high card points. Well, with a jack 10, 9, 8, eventually you'll get a slow trick, but it is the 11 high card points. And for our suit quality, we have a suit quality of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, count them. 5 and 6 is a suit quality of a whopping 11. And we can see that we're not going to lose anything in that suit. Yeah, even if they have 5 or 6 against us, it's solid. Okay, so then our losing trick count. What do you count for losing trick count here? 2 in spades, 1 in hearts is 3, nothing in clubs, obviously, only 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 losers. So this is the best hand at all, isn't it? But it has one disadvantage, and that is the suit is, oh, by the way, this was the diamond suit, and this is the club suit. So you got to go to one level higher to compete. But otherwise, 6-4-2-1, suit quality of 6. Wow. I don't care if it's 11 point or not. That's a lot of tricks you can take in that. Okay, so far so good. So what would you open here in the north hand? Would you open that 1 spade or 2 spades? Yeah, I know you've only got 10 high card points, but you have a couple distribution points. You do have the master suit, the spade suit. I think you would probably, a lot of us, say 1 spade. In third seat, as we'll talk about later, I think I might make it hard for the person behind me. If there's 2 passes and I've got this hand, I probably would go 2 spades. Same over here. I think the same thing. I might open it 1 heart. Some people of you would want to open it 2 hearts. It's kind of close. Moxnix, I think maybe so. You might take a look at the vulnerability. We'll talk about vulnerability in another session. Okay, this one I would open it 2 times no matter what seat I'm in. Well, not the 4th seat, but yeah, I would go ahead and in 1st, 2nd, or 3rd seat because it's the diamond suit, a minor. And yeah, I don't have anything else. I like my shape 6-3-3-1. Over in the 4th seat, well, that's a really nice club suit. Probably twice rebiddable. Now we rebid a suit with a 6-bagger, and this looks like a 7-bagger with 150 honors actually. So I would bid 1 club and 2 clubs and 3 clubs with that. 6 losing trick count. So that is some things you would think about when you're actually making the bids. Does that make sense? Good, I hope so. Well, okay, let's go ahead and see what we can do to take a look at the bidding and the play. So let's say it happens to go do 2 spades with it. That's their thing. Pretty hard to come in at 3 hearts now, isn't it? We see the benefit of a preempt. Okay, so 2 spades, a pass, over to south. Well, wow, you've got 3 cover cards. Remember cover cards, the reciprocal or the partnership side of the losing trick count? Rather than count our losers, which would be a big number, let's just count our winners. The aces, the kings, and the shortness. So in the heart suit, we have nothing going on there. In the club suit, well, we've got some shortage there, don't we? So we can go ahead and do some roughing. In the diamond suit, we've got a couple winners there. So I'd say 2 winners, ace, king, another one for the shortness. So that's 3 cover cards with sufficient trump. And if our partner has that holding, yeah, I think we would want to go ahead and maybe see about game. And as we'll learn later, if our partner goes 2 spades and we bid 2 no trump, that's asking for a feature saying, partner, do you really have a good spade suit? And if so, can you tell me something else about other features, other aces and kings on the side suit? So if I went 2 no trump over to West, well, you can't really come in now, can you, after 2 no trump? I don't think I'd go 3 clubs, not quite that proud of that suit. And over to North, if you heard your partner say, tell me about an ace or a king on a side suit, that's 2 spades, 2 no trump, you would come back and say, yeah, I have a good spade suit and I have an ace of hearts. I will go 3 hearts. Not saying I want to play in the heart suit, just saying it's this where I have an outside ace or king. And by the way, I like my spade suit. It's a good suit quality there. Back to South, I think you would say, oh, okay, well, you've got an outside. Yeah, I think maybe I'll go to 4 spades, and maybe that's a good bid. Maybe it isn't, but they're rolling the dice. And sometimes we do that with preempts, and they are in 4 spades. Okay, the opening lead, we can see if you lead a singleton in this situation, you're going to go down. You remember in our previous lesson, we talked about leading singletons are not really a great idea unless you think your partner's got a heck of a lot of high card points. So if you lead your top of sequence hearts, you're going to be able to set them. If you lead your diamond suit, not so much. They're going to be able to make the contract because they're going to be able to pull some trump and then pitch on the diamonds, right? That's the thing we want to do, is promote a suit. Okay, so the lead is a king of hearts, and we win it with the ace in the north hand. And we have a side card suit of, 6 diamonds, and 2 more is 8, so 6 and 8. They're most likely 3 and 2, but 28% of the time, 1 and 4, they are 4-1, so we want to go ahead and pull our trump first, don't we? So we play a jack of trump, kind of a little bit sneakily. Everybody only sees the south hand, which I guess they didn't decide to take it with the east hand, thinking, well, what if my partner is a singleton king? That wouldn't look good if I put my ace and it crashed with a singleton king. So, okay, so the jack holds, and you play another one. This time, they go in with the east hand, and they come back with a heart. And look at over in West, they play the ace of clubs, saying, hey, my clubs are pretty good. You can go ahead and return a club, and I've got the suit covered. All right, but if you were thinking about the inferences, you would have some other factors you would realize. You would say, well, my partner played a 10 of hearts, and now they're out of hearts, and I had 6, So, okay, it could be a 6-4-2-1, a 6-3-3-1. And how many hearts, were in the south hand? There were 3. Now they've just played the second one. So if there was 6 for us, 3 in the south, our partner had a singleton, that means there has to be 3 in the north. Are you with me on that? 6-3-3-1, 6-3, your partner had a singleton, that's 10. Therefore the north hand, the closed hand, had 3. So if you were come back in a club, you're going to have a loser play. Even though your partner played the ace, you might be thinking, well, trust me. No, you've got to get that last heart trick first of all. Otherwise, bad things are happening. They're still going to make the game. So play one more heart, please. And now you can go ahead and make your club play, get your club, and you've got your 4 tricks. If we go back that trick, though, and rather than playing the heart, you say, well, my partner played the ace, I guess I must have to play the club, and you do, and your partner says, oh, I'll win it with a 10, and they come back in a, what, I don't know, a club, whatever, they're going to rough it, and they're going to go ahead and play the diamonds and make the contract. So, a couple things here. One, take a look at your suit quality in these suits. Think about when you have something less than a 12-point hand, and do you remember what the points were? Over here we had about 10 high card points. I think we had 10 here, 9 here, and 11 over here. And so the arrangement was everybody had about the same amount. Not really normally opening if we just counted high card points. But if we took a look at our suit quality, this was a suit quality of 9, suit quality of 9, suit quality 9 plus because it's the ace, king, queen. And over here, the suit quality was 11. Wow. The problem was this is a club suit. This was a diamond suit. And over here we had the majors. So we can effectively compete at the same level with the higher ranking suit. All right? And when it came to the line of play, if you lead that singleton diamond, all is going to be lost because, well, you're helping them promote their suit. Once they pull trump, right, then they're going to be able to promote the side suit, and they're going to be able to get some winners. And so later on in this hand, when we saw where the hearts were led and this person played the ace, over here you must still think about, okay, at the beginning we had 6, 3, and 1 heart. That makes 10. Therefore, we can deduce is that over here there must be 3. So play that third round of hearts before you play the club. Okay, good. Let's try another variation. Okay, so on our second hand, same as the first hand actually, but let's go ahead and say that the dealer is in east. Now you recall that this was a 6-4-2-1 shape, which is certainly more shapely than a 6-3-3-1. And once again, we've got the seat and the vulnerability that we're going to talk about later. Stay tuned. But so far we say, this person says, let's go ahead and just open it 1 heart. It's a more shapely hand. And rebiddable suit and hearts, and they decide to open it 1 heart. Okay, over in the south, you would like to have opened this 2 diamonds, but you can't really come in here because that sounds like it's full value, so you are in a pass situation. You sure wish this was the spade suit, though, don't you? In the spade suit, you would just go ahead and say 1 spade, certainly with this nice combination. Okay, over here in the west hand, you have 10 high card points, 11 high card points, only a singleton in your partner's suit, and you want to show this club suit, so you're going to bid 2 clubs, and you could even rebid this suit, couldn't you? Okay, over into the north hand. Some of you may want to say 2 spades. And if they end up in 3 no trump, it's certainly good for lead direction. You think you're going to get hurt too much if they give a penalty double over here and it's left in. Now, We know that there's 12 points or more here by the opener. In this case, it turned out to be less because there was distribution. And there's 10 points or more when they make a 2-level bid over here. So with 22, 23 points or more, you're kind of making some gut-wrenching bids, aren't you, if they do penalize you. And if you were vulnerable, as we'll talk about later, that might be a time to consider it even less. Okay, well, let's say this person says they're just staying out of trouble, keeping their noise clean, and they pass. So the auction so far is 1 heart, 2 clubs. What would you like to do for a rebid after 1 heart, 2 clubs? 2 no trump? I don't think so. 3 clubs? Well, yeah, perhaps. But you have a 6-card suit, so you're going to be rebidding it. Don't rebid 5-card suits, please. Unless you have really great honors in it. You would just say 2 hearts. A pass again by South. Okay, 2 hearts. You know they have 6 hearts. You only have a singleton, but when I have a singleton honor, I'm a little bit more encouraged. My partner's got a 6-bagger, and I've got an honor. That might be helpful, and it sure is, isn't it? Even though it's a 10, with a King, Queen, Jack, your partner has good values. This is worth something. So I've got nice clubs. Maybe my diamond might do something. At any rate, they end up in, say, bidding 3 clubs again, which is, well, you've got this great club suit, and this person, they come back and say, wow, they've got 6 clubs or more, and I've got 4. Okay, I'll go 4 clubs. Do you want to go to 5, partner? And this person over here, well, 5 clubs. That means we only have 2 losers. And I've got a lot of losers in these pointed suits, so I don't think so. If we want a game, my partner's got 6 hearts. I've got a singleton. Okay, in this scenario, they end up going to 4 hearts, just because, hey, 1 less trick to be in a major. My partner's got 6. I've got a singleton honor, and I'll go 4 hearts. Let's see what happens. Okay, so on lead, what would you lead here from the south hand? You've heard 1 heart, 2 clubs, 2 hearts, 3 clubs, 4 clubs, 4 hearts. Does it sound like they have a double fit? Yes, it sounds like they have a double fit, doesn't it? So I think you're going to want to lead something where you can get your tricks quickly. And you might be thinking, I'm going to do the ace of diamonds. Normally that's a pretty good lead, isn't it? Turns out this time it's a loser play. That's kind of unusual, isn't it? And sometimes it is require a unusual lead to be able to set them. Now, if your partner had made that 2-spade bid over here, might be a good lead director, and you might not lead the diamond suit. But as it turns out, because they have a double fit, sometimes we don't do the A on our, remember the counts, the inferences, and the algorithms? This is kind of an algorithmic bid, isn't it? Yeah, leading the top of a sequence. But by the inferences, where they have the double fit, sometimes we have to do something different. Now, this is a non-intuitive play. I think probably most people would just lead the ace of diamonds, look at the dummy. And I couldn't really fault them for that. So if it turns out you make the fateful lead of the algorithmic play, which is the ace of diamonds, that's the loser play, and we can see that when we play the second one, they rough in. It's too late for us. They go ahead and get the ace out, come back with a spade, try, you're a little bit too late, get the trump out, and when the trump are out, you can go ahead and get to the clubs, and your losers go away. So that was a little bit of an unlucky situation, but let's take a look at it from 2B's perspective, to be or not to be, and we can see that in this scenario, leading the spade, yes, they win that, they come back with a heart. We've got the ace of hearts, and now when we come back with a club, they win it, they come back with a club or a diamond, whatever, it doesn't matter, because our partner is able to rough because it was a singleton. So that was how they did it, was being able to set them by go ahead and playing the spade. Then later on, when they were able to play that club and there was a singleton in this hand, it was able to get a roughing trick. So if you had led the club, no, sorry, that doesn't work either. You have to go ahead and get your partner's spade. And it's a little bit counterintuitive as a play a spade. They come back with a heart. And by the way, when you have a long suit but you don't have the ace, that gives the opponents one tempo lead. They get to have one tempo to get ahead of you sometimes by one instance. And when they come back after this, if they are able to come back with a club, why would they come back with a club? Does that make sense? Well, let's take a look at it. This is another one of the inferences in here. Do you see why? Okay, let me show you. The bidding went 1 heart, 2 clubs, 2 hearts, 3 clubs, 4 clubs. Sounds like there's some clubs over there, doesn't it, after all? And 4 hearts. So you know that you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, maybe 4, 12, right? There's 3 or 4 over here. So if your partner has a club or 2, that's it. So when you get in, rather than to continue with your spades, if you say, well, hey, maybe I can get my partner a roughing trick, if we can get in, and once you've got them on the dummy, they're kind of locked there, aren't they? Yeah, you know that they've got a problem. If they come in diamonds, it goes to our partner, and so on and so forth. All right? Well, okay, bridge friends, that completes part 1 and part 2 and part 3. We've got quite a few more slides, more chalk talk, and another handful of hands where we're going to have some more interesting and some challenging preempts. And some of them, you're going to have to remember how to do some unblocking. So be careful on our next portions. But before we close out, let's go ahead and talk about where you might want to find information on the Bridge Hands website. Well, first off, over here at the main part of the Bridge Hands website, the original one, you could go into the search box and search for the term preempt. And after you hit search, you can see here's one rule of 7. Marty says some things on bevy of bridge secrets, the August convention. Here's a Q&A where we talk about preempts there, discipline preempts. Here's a Pulling You number 37. That would be the Pulling You series, have videos. That would be interesting. A Pulling You 78, more on preempts. And so on and so forth. Here we can see we have some encyclopedia references to it. Issue number 13, another PDF, very interesting on preempts, and so on and so forth. But wait, there's more. Let's go ahead and go back to where we were. And in addition to searching the main part of the website, of course, we like our videos, don't we? And so if you are a membership site subscriber with either the Premium or Ultra, you can go over here to view the video index. And at the video index of all of our videos, so socials, the advanced, the Polling You series, hundreds of hours there. And you could just either search this site by doing the search box for the videos in the blog portion, or what I like to do is just on my browser hit Control F for find. So the Control and the F, or if you're a Mac sort of person, I guess that would be Option and then the F, and then we'll just search for the word preempt, P-R-E-E-M-P-T, and it should highlight on this actual page anywhere where it has that term. So I see there's one here on social lesson number 17, competitive bidding, overcalls and preempts. There's some more down here after we get about halfway down. Pulling You 78, preempts and suit quality. Pulling You 77, preempts and suit quality, part 1, losing trick count. And if we go all the way back down towards the bottom, I can see that there's some more. Here's a Pulling You 37, penalty doubles and preempts. And one more down here at the end, Pulling You 25, in a 6 club slam, consider finessing, preemptive bidding, and second hand play. So lots of things where you can look at the Bridge Hands website, but wait, there's more. Yes, when we get to part 2, part 3, and maybe a part 4, of this episode, we're going to get into more actual bidding hands and play. So if you haven't already, please come by Bridge Hands, sign up for a free membership, and you can see part 2 of the show, and then part 3 and probably part 4, where we really get into a lot of hands. We'll go ahead and give you a lot more juicy details for the premium and ultra members. So www.bridgehands.com. Don't wait, come on by and sign up, and look forward to having a lot more hands to bid and play. Thanks for coming by Bridge Hands, and always have a good day playing bridge, and I'll see you on the flip side. Bye for now.